In federal government jobs, you have remote work and telework. Remote work means you can work at the comfort of your home all the time. Telework means you can work at home part of the time. Most federal agencies will allow their employees to do some telework. But before you sign a job offer, you might be wondering, just how much telework will I get? Well, new data has been sent to Congress that shows 24 federal agencies and how often they allow their employees to telework. This could be useful information. It could be used to decide whether or not to go with one job offer over another job offer. We're going to look at the top 3 best and worst agencies that are offering telework to their employees. First, we have the EPA, which is listed at 2 to 5 days per pay period. A pay period is 14 days, so the EPA is allowing some of their employees to only have to come into the office 1 day out of the week, which isn't so bad, right? This was the norm during the pandemic time period, 2021, 2022. A lot of people weren't even going to the office at all, but if they actually came in, it was only once a week. But that changed, and the goal now is to get everybody in the office at least 50% of the time. So the EPA has close to 15,000 employees, and they're ranked number 5 out of 26 for mid-size agencies. Next, we have the Transportation Department, which is listed at 4 days per pay period. And this is what I would consider the new normal, coming into the office twice a week. I've seen a lot of different agencies do it. Now, the good part about this, if you're the employee, is you can often pick your days. So most people are going to pick, any day that's not a Monday or a Friday, because nobody wants to come back to work right after a weekend or right before a weekend starts. So a lot of people are doing Tuesday through Thursday. They're picking 2 days out of those 3. The Transportation Department has about 53,000 employees. They're ranked at number 6 out of 17 for large federal agencies. All right, so next we have the Department of Energy, which is also listed at 4 days per pay period. So they're also having people come in twice a week, but I know some people that are only going once a week from DOE. Now, this is a good time to bring up reasonable accommodations, because what we're talking about doesn't include reasonable accommodations. Reasonable accommodations is legitimate medical reasons documented by a doctor. Even if you have the right paperwork, it can still take multiple months to get approved. The Department of Energy has about 14,000 employees, and they're ranked at number 6 out of 26 for mid-size agencies. Keep in mind, this is for 24 federal agencies, and there's over 400 federal agencies, so this is not a comprehensive list or not even a full view of what's happening with telework. Because I know people that are teleworking 3 days a week. I know some that are doing 1 day a week. Even within the same federal agency, different divisions can have different policies. It can come down to your senior executive. What do they want to do? Now, if you're on the outside looking in, or maybe you're trying to get a better government job and you want to know how to structure your resume, you want to know some of the insider tips, I would go ahead and pick up a copy of Government Job Secrets. This book will put you ahead of easy 70% of the people. Most people are submitting inadequate job applications with subpar resumes. This is the solution for you to fix that. Okay, so let's look at the agencies that are requiring their people to come in a lot more. First, we have the Social Security Administration with up to 8 days a pay period. It's nice to see the SSA leading in some category. Unfortunately, it's the return to office category. So this means that you're only able to telework once a week. The other 4 days, you're gonna have to be in the office, which is somewhat understandable given the nature of their work. They're probably a lot of public-facing positions, right? They have to interact with members of the public, so you can't do that from home. You gotta be inside the office, so that can make sense. The SSA has close to 60,000 employees and are ranked dead last, 17 out of 17 for large federal agencies. And forcing their employees to come into the office 4 times a week, that's not gonna help the rankings anytime soon. Next, we have the State Department with up to 7 days a pay period. I can also understand having people come into the office more with this. The State Department focuses on foreign affairs. You can find jobs all over the world, literally, Italy, Spain, Germany. So a lot of these positions are not able to do remote work. The Department of State has around 11,000 employees. They're ranked 14 out of 17 for large federal agencies. Next, we have the Justice Department with up to 6 days a pay period. The Justice Department, they have thousands of people in the FBI, the ATF, the Bureau of Prisons, and once again, these jobs are impossible to do from home. You need to be walking down the jail cell, making sure people are behaving And same thing with conducting investigations, being out there on site, right? You can't do that from home. The Justice Department has over 100,000 employees, and they're ranked 16 out of 17 for large federal agencies. It's interesting to note the correlation between the ability to work from home, telework, and the ranking when it comes to best places to work. It's not a secret. People want the flexibility. People want the freedom. They don't want to keep wasting time and money doing the commute. But a lot of agencies are fighting to get people back into the office, and this is for a lot of different reasons. Here are a few other interesting data points. 54% of all federal employees have to be physically present during all work hours. This means they can't telework at all. So it makes sense if you're turning a wrench, if you're pushing a broom, if you're cooking. In the trades, a lot of people in the trades, they cannot do telework. This makes up roughly 1 million federal employees that are never allowed to telework. When it comes to 100% remote work, 228,000 or 10% of all employees have no expectation to ever come to an office. When it comes to remote work, the top 3 agencies that have the most people doing remote work, number 1 is DoD with 61,000 remote employees. Number 2 is the VA with 36,000 remote employees. And number 3 is HHS with 26,000 employees. Both telework and remote work can give you more of your time back in your day. And for a lot of people, that's the way moving forward. They want that. That's going to be the decision factor when they are accepting a job offer. If you are looking to compete for 100% remote work, understand that journey is going to be difficult, and you need to prepare yourself for waiting a long time and also dealing with a lot of rejection. You need to have your achievements quantified on your resume. You need to make sure you're highlighting the most relevant skills and experience that you possess so that you can stand out. You can have a compelling reason why the person should want to interview you. Why should the hiring manager even care? So that's one approach, right? 100% remote work. Telework, it's a little bit easier to get in. I would apply to both, right? Maybe secure a telework job while you're still applying for the remote work. Maybe your end objective is to get that remote work, but you have to get through telework. You know, that's a strategy that you could potentially use. But please do not just flood your resume with responsibilities. You want to focus on the achievement. If you don't know what you achieved, or you feel like, I didn't achieve anything, I just showed up to work, I did what I was told, you still have achievements, you just don't know what those are. I'm going to help you find those. You can learn about that by watching this video next. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please click like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.